everybody, and welcome. It's the Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset, and we are live and on the air with week one. I've already talked to three coaches. It's been a good week, but man, have I got a great show for you lined up tonight, and we're going to start it off in Alabama. And we're going to talk to the head coach of the Helena Huskies, head coach Richie Busby. Welcome to the show, Coach Busby.
Hey, Stork. Glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it is so good to hear your voice again and to have you back on with us. Let's start it off, and you were just kind of filling me in on what's been going on in Helena. And if for those of you that don't know where Helena is, you can't get there from here. You got to have a helicopter, from what I understand. And I am going to get to experience that somewhat, but. Helena, go ahead one more time to let the fans know where you are located in proximity from Birmingham, Alabama.
Well, we're probably 20, 25 miles south of Birmingham. A lot of your listeners probably are familiar with Hoover High School. As a crow flies, we're probably 7, 8 miles from Hoover High. We're kind of tucked back near the Cahaba River that runs through here, and the very peaceful, but there's two ways in, 2 ways out, and they're both 2-lane roads, and you got about 20,000 residents, and it's a beautiful city to live in. But if you work outside of town or you work a traditional 8 to 5 job, it's a little bit of a nightmare.
Well,
Getting in and out.
Well, but once you get in, you can't get out. In other words, it's just you come in there and you live and you enjoy the community. I know the whole city of Helena is like behind your football program. That's the law enforcement and everybody. And I get to follow you online. So, you know, it's getting ready for your first Friday night and you're at home. So I guess a lot of excitement is building up to that first Friday night, Coach Busby.
Yes, our community and our city administration is, it's second to none as far as support goes for our athletic department in general. Our new mayor has recently painted all the police cars the same colors, our helmets, and put the same stripe on the cars that go on the players' helmets. We were looking at doing an alternate silver helmet, so he did the SROs, which are the officers that are at the schools every day. Their cars are silver with the stripe, and the support and the unity that shows from our leadership, because we're a county school and it's the city, administration, but the support that shows towards our children and the things they do for us, it's almost like a little, it's almost like a private school in a really, really populated little town. Feels like a private school. Everybody knows everybody. Our games, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, everybody comes out to support the kids. And, I couldn't be at a better place, along those lines, from support and just a great community that loves to come out and watch high school kids compete.
Man, it just sounds like something. It sounds like an Amazon series already. I'm telling you, man, just the way you paint the picture. But it may not be an Amazon season. Let's start it off right there. How are you looking, Coach? You've gone through, I guess, what you call two-a-days or Alabama days, but either way, it's it's whatever you got to do before you. Yeah. It's the time period you are going through before you get ready for the first Friday night, and I just want to know, how's that gone for you?
Well, luckily we had about 12 to 13 days of just practice before school started. They pushed school back a little bit this year due to different things, but we had 12, 13 days of practice before school so the kids could really focus on football. We don't do two-a-days because we do so much in Alabama in the summers, and we were also able to start a week early because we didn't hold a spring training this year, so the Alabama Athletic Association gave us the opportunity that if you didn't have spring football, you could start a week early. So we took advantage of that. We have a lot of multi-sport athletes that are just basically wore out at the end of the year. Our baseball program is really strong, so we all just felt like, hey, we'll just get an extra week in fall camp. We played Leeds last Thursday night in a jamboree, won that game 23-13. So we're replacing 15 starters at the end of the day, and we just got a lot of talented young kids that just haven't had a lot of snaps on Friday nights. And when those lights come on and those crowds are there, we got to find out who can handle that and who can play.
Coach Busby, in speaking with that, your first opponent is going to be the Hornets and Dustin Goodwin. And tell us a little bit about, what do you know about the Hornets from Chelsea?
Now hang on, Stork. Now look, don't put me in the Chelsea week just yet. We're going to play Dallas County Friday night from
Oh,
Plantersville,
I
Alabama.
don't have. Okay, it cut it off on my schedule,
Yeah.
so I'm
Now
not seeing that.
Don't give me a heart attack now. We
No,
We don't want to fool with Chelsea.
I'm
this
sorry.
week.
I'm sorry, Coach. It cut it off
That's
on my
okay.
schedule, and now I see it up here, and it's like when the printer. I don't know if you know it, but I printed these
Right.
from the web, and I see it now.
Yeah.
It is Dallas County.
Yeah.
I just looked at the school. I'll be honest with you. You take it from there.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about Dallas County, which is a better opponent of who, I guess, now that you've let the
Right.
cat out of the bag.
Well, Dallas County, they have a new coach. We don't know much about him, so when you're playing against there's an ambulance going by me. Sorry. So when you're playing against a program that the coach is new, there's not really a whole lot of game prep other than just making sure we've got our bases covered in base football and we're playing sound technique and doing all the things we need to do. And to be honest, we really don't know much about them. They have the luxury of having our film from last year when we played, and we won 43-0. So they have our film, and we don't have anything on them because we have nothing to go on. So
Wow.
we have spent this week just focused on fundamentals, just like it would be any other week of practice in fall camp, because that's really all we can do. So we'll have to be making adjustments on the fly on the sideline and big time adjustments at halftime, which our staff is really good at. So we're just going to go out there and play football. And then those Chelsea Hornets that you were talking about, for your listeners, it's kind of like the Alabama Auburn. We have two of those, Chelsea and Pelham, Pelham's a couple miles right down the road from us. So that game brings a whole nother life to a week. So hopefully we can take care of Dallas County first.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. But no, in speaking with that, in the first game, and there'll be a gap in between that, what do you really need to get done and when you think about Dallas County, besides winning the ball game, controlling your turnovers, possession of the ball, and all those things? What do you what do you want to see mentally out of these kids? What are you looking for?
Well, our deal is we tell them this: if we play with effort, we play fast, we play together, that's what's in our locker room. If we do those three things, we'll be fine. But from a schematic standpoint, what we've got to find is to make sure we've got some offensive linemen that are willing to come off the football where we can run the ball and be physical in the run game. We lost two backs last year, and Marquise Johnson and Kobe Hughes that accounted for 2,500 yards on the ground the 2 years previous. So they were, in the backfield 3 years together. We got to replace those guys, but more importantly, the guys that were up front. We're going to start two sophomores and a freshman up front Friday night. And 6A football in Alabama is not necessarily a recipe for success, but they're talented, and they've had a good fall camp. They've gotten better every week. So really Friday night we got to find out who can play up front, who can replace those running backs. And defensively, we got to make sure our back end is solid. We've had a few issues in fall camp and in the jamboree, but we're constantly moving people, trying to fix those problems. And one thing about our kids, they play hard. They play their guts out every Friday night, so we'll find 22 that are ready to play.
Special teams wise, Coach, how's that looking for you?
Well, we got all three of our kickers back. We got our long snapper back, so you start there in your special teams, and you feel pretty good about that, having those guys return, especially a veteran long snapper and short snapper who's been doing it since he was a sophomore. So feel good about our kicking game. Our punter is going to be our starting quarterback, so that gives us a dynamic where the fake is always in play. Kind of worries you a little bit, somebody getting in his legs or something on a punt, but he's going to handle the punting duties. And like I said, we've got three of our kickers back, and we've got a young kicker coming, a freshman that's really, really going to be an outstanding kicker in the future. So feel good about that. We just got to run down there and tackle now and protect the punter.
Well, Coach, I'm going to let you go for our first call. I hope you've enjoyed it and being on Inside the Headset. We hope you have a good football game on Friday night and come away with a win. Anything you'd like to say about your fans, your faculty, staff, and administration, and the Huskies?
Well, yeah, just again, I'm blessed, and our staff is blessed to be at a school that supports our kids, not only academically but on the athletic playing fields, and you know, it's so exciting on Friday night. I wish I could paint a picture for you, but we sit in a valley up kind of up on a hill, and the sun sets at kickoff, and over the Cahaba River. It's one of the prettiest places you'll ever see a high school football game, and you can bet there'll be 6,000 people in there, and you won't be able to get anybody else in there. So I know you're coming down sometime later in the season, and I can't wait for you to see it.
Well, Coach, we are looking forward to being in Helena, and we wish you the best Friday night. Stay healthy and stay out of the penalty box, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, Stork. Go Huskies.
See ya.